everyone. In this video, I am going to discuss the features of a picture composition. Okay, so the very first feature of a picture composition is that the picture is given to you. The picture on which you have to frame the composition, it's already given to you. You get the picture directly on your question paper. In a picture composition, as the name itself suggests, the picture will be given to you and you just have to look at the picture, understand what it is depicting and write an essay on it. It sounds very simple, right? But no, it's not simple. It's absolutely not simple. And it's not as simple as it seems. You will know why. Number 2, don't just describe the picture. The most important point is that you are not just asked to describe the picture. Many students get confused and think that all you have to do in a picture composition is to just give a description of the picture that has been given to you. But that is not what the board expects of you. Please do not make this mistake. Many students make this mistake. They just look at the picture, they describe whatever they see on the picture, and they think that they'll get marks. But the board does not expect this from you. You cannot just give a description of the picture that has been given. The board expects you to treat the picture like a theme and write either a descriptive, a narrative, a reflective essay on it, or maybe a story. Better if you write a story. But the board expects you to treat the picture composition as you would treat any other essay. Except the picture composition is a different kind of thing. You don't have separate rules for picture composition. It all depends on what kind of essay you are writing. If you write a descriptive essay out of the picture given to you, then you have to follow the rules of a descriptive composition, which I've already discussed in a previous video. If you're writing a narrative composition based on the picture, then you have to strictly follow the rules of narrative essay, which I also have discussed in a separate video. If you're writing a reflective essay, the essay has to be mostly based on your thoughts, your reflections, what the picture is making you think. And you already know the rules of story writing. If you're writing a story based on the picture that is given to you, you have to follow all the rules of the story, all the rules of story writing. So there are no separate rules for picture composition. The rules totally depend on what kind of essay you are writing out of the picture that has been given to you. Follow the rules of a descriptive, narrative, reflective, and story whenever you're writing a picture composition, depending on what kind of essay you are choosing to write on it. But don't just give a description of the picture. That is against the rules. You are not expected to do that. Don't just describe the picture. If you see the picture of a garden, don't just describe it's a beautiful green garden. There are flowers growing all over the garden. I can see a rose, a dahlia, a tulip, whatever. Do not just then go on listing the names of the flowers that you can see. No, that is not what has been asked of you. You have to write an essay on it. Number 3, if you are writing a descriptive picture composition, it should be written exactly as a normal descriptive essay, treating the picture as a theme. For example, if you get a picture of a teenage girl standing right next to an elephant, you can describe your own experience of an elephant ride, giving rich sensory details of the ride. You have to incorporate your sense of sight, your sense of smell, your sense of hearing, your sense of taste, how you're feeling, all of these things in the essay, just like you would write a descriptive composition. You can describe your experience of riding an elephant for the first time. Maybe you went on a safari in some kind of a forest, and that is when you first rode on an elephant. Then you have to describe the right, giving as many details as possible. The next point is, if you're writing a narrative picture essay or a story based on the picture given to you, the rules have to be exactly the same as the rules of a narrative essay or story writing. Treat that picture composition exactly as you would treat a narrative composition, focusing on your personal experience, your emotions, your feelings triggered by whatever is happening, while maintaining a strong link with the given picture. You cannot just get lost describing your own emotions and feelings. You also have to be careful that you are maintaining a connection with the picture at all times. In case of a story, imagine the picture of a young man with a backpack standing right in front of a very old tumble-down house. If this is the picture given to you, then you can develop a full-fledged horror story out of it, with sufficient dialogues, more than 2 characters, description of the setting, and so on. Exactly as you would write a story. Even if in the picture you have just 1 character, if you are writing a story on the picture composition, make sure you include more than 2 characters. The next point is a reflective picture essay. How do you write a reflective picture essay? A reflective picture essay is an essay of thoughts and reflections. It is a product of a picture and what that picture is making you think. Reflective means related to thoughts. Reflections mean thoughts. So if you get a picture of a small child dressed in rags, sitting in the middle of what seems like a dump yard or under a very dirty bridge, you can talk or write about poverty, about abandoned children, and so on. If you get the picture of a small child dressed in rags, you cannot just put yourself in the composition and write about how you had a fun experience in the dump yard. No, that is going to be a big mistake. If you get a small child dressed in rags, you have to write an essay on that small child. This is a reflective essay that I'm talking about. And obviously you can write about poverty, you can write about abandoned children, how children suffer due to poverty. But if you're writing, suppose you're writing a descriptive essay or a narrative essay on it, then you cannot just write your experience in the dump yard or your personal experience. No. Because that child is not you. So you cannot make these kind of changes in the picture composition. Whatever the picture is suggesting, you have to strictly follow that. The next point is very important, and it's very, very crucial to look at the minute details given in the picture. Oftentimes what we do is, we look at the picture very, very superficially, form a general impression of it, and write an essay on it. But we miss out on the important details in the picture. Instead of only looking at the character in the picture, try to also minutely examine the background. There can be 1 character, there can be more than 2 characters, whatever it is. You also have to look at the background. What is the background suggesting to you? If the background is that of a sea beach and there are 4 to 5 people like having a great time there, you cannot write a composition about how you and your friends went on a picnic. Okay, you have to write something about the sea beach too. You cannot exclude that. So it's very, very important to look at the background and see what it is suggesting. So minutely examine the background. What all you can spot in the background, what kind of location the characters are in, certain details about the location, what the character is wearing, what the character is carrying, what kind of expression the characters have. All of these things are very, very important. All of these things convey a lot of hidden information that we might often overlook in a hurry. So please don't do that. If you see 4 people standing on the sea beach, but they all have very sad, gloomy expressions on their faces, you cannot write that you went on a trip with your friends to the sea beach and you had a great time. You cannot write about that. 4 people standing on the seashore with gloomy expressions suggest something sad that has happened. And you have to maintain that while you're writing the essay. So, look at the details, look at the expressions, look at the characters, their mood, the location, the background, what they're wearing. Everything is very, very important. Do not miss out on these bits of hidden information in a hurry. The next point is the word limit. The word limit has to be strictly maintained. Just like a descriptive essay, a narrative essay, or a story, here too you have to maintain the word limit very, very strictly. Write within 350 words. You can increase the word limit a bit, but not too much. Try to stay within 350 words. Some students have the tendency to write extremely brief picture compositions. I've seen it many times. They think a picture composition, you can just, write 2 paragraphs and just leave it there. But no, that's a big mistake. You cannot just write 2 paragraphs. You cannot write half-hearted picture compositions. You cannot just finish it anyhow. That is not what is expected of you. The board expects you to treat the picture composition as any other essay topic because they all carry the same amount of marks. Just like your descriptive composition, narrative composition, story, your picture composition also has the same amount of marks. It's not like you have less marks there that you can just write it anyhow and write 2 paragraphs and just leave it there. No. You cannot do that. Treat your picture composition like you would treat any other composition. I'm repeating it over and over again. It's very, very important. An introduction, a body, and a conclusion are extremely important. They are compulsory. These 3 paragraphs have to be there. You can break up the body paragraphs, but stick to the word limit as closely as possible. You can have 2 or 3 body paragraphs and an introduction and a conclusion. That's okay. But never, never miss out on any of these. Do not miss out on the introduction. Do not miss out on the conclusion. They are very important. 3 paragraphs, minimum 3 paragraphs, there has to be in any kind of essay. Okay? Whether it's descriptive, narrative, story, or picture composition. 3 paragraphs have to be there. So, you can break up the body paragraphs, but stick to the word limit. It shouldn't be that you're incorporating 3 body paragraphs, but you're writing more than 500 words. Don't do that, okay? That's once again going to be a big mistake. Try to stay within the word limit. You can exceed the word limit a little bit, but not too much. And the last point is, title your picture composition always. Please do not miss it. Once again, this is something that students forget to do. They forget to title the picture composition because most of them, they are just describing the picture, which is again against the rules. So always title your picture composition. Always. Title carries separate marks. There's separate 1 mark for the title only. Do not absolutely forget this. It's very, very important. Just like you title your other essays, a picture composition too needs to be given a relevant title based on the picture given to you. It should be a short and powerful title which is appropriate to the content of your essay so that the examiner can directly connect the title to the content of the picture composition. So the title has to be a resemblance with the content of the essay you are writing as well as the picture that has been given to you. These connections are very, very important. So let me just go over the rules once again. In a picture composition, the picture is given to you, but you are not supposed to just describe the picture. You have to write either a descriptive, a narrative, a reflective essay, or a story on the picture that has been given to you. So depending on what kind of essay you are choosing to write out of the picture given to you, follow the rules of that particular essay. A picture composition doesn't have any separate rules. You have to draft it like a descriptive, narrative, reflective composition or a story. So I've already discussed these different types of essays with you in previous videos. I've discussed how to write a descriptive composition, how to write a narrative composition, argumentative essay, story. I've discussed all of these, right? So you have to follow the same rules here too. So another important rule is that, which I've already discussed before, let me just repeat. If you're writing a story on your picture composition, include all the elements of the story. Dialogue, setting, character, all of these things are very, very important. More than 2 characters, there has to be sufficient dialogues. You have to write a bit about the setting. You have to write a bit about the appearance of the characters. So exactly as you would write a story. It's very important to look at the minute details, the background, the location, what the character is wearing, the kind of expressions the characters have. All of these things are very important. Do not overlook these details in a hurry and write a half-hearted composition. And last but not the least, the word limit and the title. The word limit has to be maintained anyhow, just like you maintain word limits for all the other essays. Do not write less than the word limit. Try to stay within the word limit. And if you can. I'm not saying you should do it. You can exceed the word limit by a bit, like 10%, but not more than that. Not more than 10%. And always title your picture composition. Do not forget to title your picture composition. It's very, very important. The title carries a separate mark. You'll get 1 mark only for writing the title. So please do not forget to do that. So that's it for this video. These are the rules for picture composition. Hope it's clear to you. In the next video, I shall be discussing some pictures that you might be given, or pictures that have been given before in previous years. So I will be discussing certain pictures and how you can frame different kinds of compositions based on those pictures. Thank you. That's all for this video. See you once again in the next video.